is the Image Twist with another gameplay commentary and take review. This is on the Tier 7 German Premium Tank Destroyer, the E-25, and this tank is my favorite thorn in your side tank, I'm not going to lie. This with its 20 rate of fire, which gives it above 2000 DPM, its extremely small size, and good camo values with that, as well as its high ability to maneuver throughout the battlefield, means that you're going to be a headache to a lot of slower tanks, and a lot of tanks with bad view range, which at Tier 7, you're going to find a decent amount of tanks with those characteristics. This really allows you to prey on the slower tanks, and with its 65 km per hour speed, you can really get around the battlefield and cause a lot of havoc. Now let's look at the overall stats. The E-25's greatest failing is, in my opinion, its weak armor. However, as with all weakly armored tanks, you have to learn very quickly that you cannot depend on anything but your ability to not get shot at in order to survive and win. My stats in the E-25 are as follows. There it is. I have a 59% win rate in it, with a average damage cause of 1569. It's a very good damage platform with its above 2000 DPM, and you will find yourself getting around 2000 damage battles fairly often. Gotten a couple medals in it, Top Gun, High Caliber, and Confederate, and the battle I wanted to show off today was a Confederate match. But anyway, this is an extremely fun tank, and you can put out decent damage in it as well. So with all these characteristics, the E-25 is an extremely good tank, whether you don't have 6th Sense or not. And you're going to find yourself with a smile on your face every time you step into this go-kart. So if you're looking for a fun time in World of Tanks, say maybe your old tank that you had fun in was nerfed, and you want to try and get into a Tier 7 premium tank that'll make you credits and put a smile on your face, I highly suggest the E-25 because it is that tank. Anyway, let's get into the gameplay review. And here's some gameplay. Now, Platoon 2, Hellraiser and I, we have found ourselves in a position where we are top tier, which is potentially a very lucrative area to be. As always, when you're top tier, you have the advantage of fighting lower tier tanks. You do have to take into consideration, though, that the Tigers are extreme danger to us, as well as the A44, KV-13 could bounce some shots of ours, because the E-25, as I said in the review, it doesn't have a whole lot of pen. We also got to watch out for the KV-1S, and really, if you get cocky, it doesn't matter what tier you're in, even if you are the top tier. The E-25 is just too soft to really bounce anything with any kind of dependency at all. You cannot really depend on the armor at all. So anyway, let's start the game. The place where you always want to be in control of is the G7 area. And that is where Hellraiser and I are headed. Hellraiser's taking a slightly faster route, and he is going to get there before us, just slightly, as you can see him roaring in there. And that is because he got the better starting position. But, as you can see, our entire team is not coming to join us, with the exception of the FE304. So, this could be bad. Most of the time, the enemy team comes through a different area, our area, and that's what makes, in a sense, this area so strategically valuable. But anyway, Hellraiser and I are not going to negate this position, and we're just going to hope that our team can make the right decisions. We spotted the KV-1S, but I have my assurances that Hellraiser can deal with the KV-1S, so I'm going to try and put some shots out on this Churchill 1. But, as you can see, the KV-1S is a bit of a concern, as Hellraiser has had his health halved, and that's really why you want to be cautious in the E-25. Not that I don't trust Hellraiser with utmost confidence. He's been spotted, and I don't believe I have, but I'm going to be spotted here because the KV-1S is just fired, and let's move him and take him out. Hellraiser took a lot of damage there, and so I'm going to try to friendly engage the JP and let him have the opportunistic shots. And the JP Panzer is falling back. So scout here and try to catch him, but shell velocity is just a little bit slow. And try for him again, but he goes out too far. He's rushing for the Su-85, but that's okay because I have no doubt that the FV-304, which is extremely good at TD. Anyway, so there are 3 massive meaty hunks of XP out there, about 500 meters away, 558 to be exact, and that is just something that you can't miss out on. You just get constant firing, and that's really ideally what you always want to have in the E-25. You want to be in a position where you can constantly just shooting gallery it, because with that 2-second reload, you're just going to keep firing and firing and firing. And as you can see, no one can see us, because we've mostly handled this flank. It appears that everyone went north, or mostly everyone, I mean. So anyway, we're just trying to shoot the invisible tiger, and we may or may not have been successful there. As you can see, my mod details the whole line of sight in the render distance box, which is a very convenient thing to have. Hit a brilliant shot on the tiger there. Hit his cupola from 600 meters. So that's a very good example of how accurate the E-25 is. Here's a KV-13, and like I said before, they have a little bit of armor to them. They're about as well armored as the IS, so it's sometimes hard to find them. We got a nice side shot. A-44 is even more so with its 150 at the front. However, he presented a nice side shot there. And those tigers are still standing out there. We missed that KV-1, and the KV-1S killed him before we got the opportunity. So we're gonna move up a bit, try to be a little more aggressive, and we spotted Nashorn here. Nashorn is distracted with all the flank, and now I'm moving in. Break both my tracks there, but they're back up. And he's gonna kill us. But fortunately, and this is a very rare opportunity, you get to see that the E-25 armor worked for once. Bounce off the A-44 there. As you may be able to tell, life as the E-25 can be very hectic. And some people, mainly the older players of this game, don't really like that, I've found. So, you know, that could determine your opinion of it. We take another shot from the A-44 that we do not take any damage from. He and his bad accuracy gun, I'll just say it. I played the A-44, it's not a very accurate gun. He seems to have clipped the top of our tank and destroyed our observation device, which is good, because the alpha on it is very good. I'm trying to bait out this A-44. He's a good player. And I see this tiger, and I try to be a little opportunistic. And you see how well that gets me. My gun is taken out now, and now I'm in some serious need of some assistance. A44 is trying to capitalize on his advantage, but then my savior, the SU-12244, comes on in, and he eliminates the A44. So the only tank left is the Tiger, and we're gonna put some shots in it, try to drive up our damage slowly even further. And that's the game. Now, as you can see, Hellraiser was the one who got all the kills there, but as you will see in the what am I thinking of? As you will see in the battle stats, the E-25 just pumps out over 4,000 damage, and Hellraiser pumps out around 2,000, I want to say. But this is the kind of power that you can expect with the E-25. It really is. If you have clear opportunities most of the time with the tank like this, then you're going to have a very fun opportunity presented to you. And there's a bunch of dead tanks over here. A lot of them got hit by me. I believe I get a Confederate medal for this one. But really, this is just a very monstrous game for a very impeccable little beast. So let's see the after battle report. So, as you can see, we've managed to do 4,112 damage with a 75% accuracy, and somehow we managed to pick up 4 spotting damage on the JP4, which I find fairly funny because the E-25 is a fairly good scout, especially when you have the camo net and the binoculars on the vehicle, as I do. However, sometimes you don't get those kinds of battles, and that battle in particular is a good example of that, because the majority of the enemy team, as well as ours, was on the other flank, which gave us, like I said in game, it gave us a great basis of, just putting in round after round after round into the enemy. However, that means that the majority of our XP is from over 300 meters away, which means that we don't get as much XP as brawling tanks on the enemy flank did. But that doesn't mean that's a bad battle. As you can see, Hellraiser and I are on the top of the team. Hellraiser has the most XP with his 2,776 damage and 5 kills, and I have the second most amount with all of my damage and the Confederate medal. It was a fairly well fought victory on both teams' sides, so I want to give a special shout out to Rampage with his 2,151 damage in a losing game, which as a tier 7 tanker, as long as you're doing over your hit points in the Tiger, then you should consider yourself to be a fairly good player, because the Tiger is a very good DPM platform, but in bad situations it's hard to play, and I would consider that a bad situation for the Tiger 1. Finally, we have our final tally: 51 shots fired, 38 direct hits, and 31 penetrations. And as I said before, the E-25 can have a bit of difficulty penetrating, so it's very good to be able to penetrate that many shots, and you can mainly attribute that to the fact that it was a top tier tank. Fighting against tier 8s like the IS-3, you're going to have to use some more tricky tactics in trying to kill it, especially if you're 1v1ing them. But anyway, this was the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed my tank review and the gameplay commentary, and as always, have a nice day.